Tonight, we get ready to go fast around the fastest short track on the planet. Tonight, Cyber Thunder and its Rush Championship Series, powered by AI Chief, take on Iowa for the Iowa Farms 175 as we get set for a 200-lap, 175-mile affair for the Rush Championship Series. Happy with us here on Precision Entertainment. I'm Justin Prince. Our producer this evening is Ryan Bauer as we get set for tonight's coverage using cameras provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. It's time for a countdown to green to find out how these drivers get steadied out across the field and how these competitors will zoom. So far, we've had 5 races complete in the season and plenty of tough races in the next couple weeks, like Watkins Glen and Bristol. But many of these competitors are going to have one big challenge coming up for them in the near future. Kentucky, Chicagoland, Michigan, Laguna Seca, Indianapolis, part of a gauntlet before we reach that regular season finale in the final few weeks, up to Talladega towards the beginning of summer. Right now, the drivers are getting set for tonight. Greg Mitchell is the one who leads the point standings entering tonight. Dustin Payne, Brad Holmes, Gary Bowman, and Matthew Semple are amongst your top 5. Mind you, the cut line currently has Jason Raymond and Tom Richter that are holding on to those positions. Anderson and DiMaggio, both of them are tied at 143 points apiece, but are both below the cut entering today. However, remember with this series, there is a wild card, essentially when it comes to the rules set, where the top 2 drivers with stage points outside the top 12 can make it. Jared Anderson is currently in 3rd. Jared Anderson over Corey Sherman, who has 14 stage points. He's 19th in the overall season standings, but so far has been good in the first 2 stages to get himself in position in the first place. We'll be looking to try and carry that forward tonight. As we get set for tonight's festivities, let's take a look at your track details here for Newton, Iowa. This track opened back in 2006, and it took a while, but eventually did host NASCAR Cup Series competition in recent years. It's made its name, in particular with open wheel series racing, before the Cup Series became the focal point, especially with its very unique style of racing. But on the iRacing service, it's partially repaved, only partially. The top groove in some areas is not repaved, the bottom is. All those different facets are going to make things difficult tonight for our competitors. Once again, I'd like to thank this season's sponsor, AI Chief, Box Now, Fuel, tires, and trash talking included. AI Chief Racing is your virtual crew chief, making pit calls, strategy plans, and roasting you all the way to the checkered flag. Find out more by going to AIChiefRacing.com. Let's take a look at your starting grid for tonight. As on the pole, it's Greg Mitchell. He set the fastest time in the field, that time being a 23.534. 7 thousandths off that is the formidable 5 Kings car of Cody Gibson. Row 2 features Eric Anderson. Brad Holmes will start next to him. I'll watch your top 4. Larry Bell starts in row 3 tonight. Matthew Semple will continue a solid points run. He'll start 6th. Then you switch back the page. We're still within about a 10th or so for Jason Raymond making an appearance tonight, with Dakota Wilkins down in 8th position. 9th goes to Logan Spencer. Ron Anderson will start in the top 10. 11th goes to Dustin Payne, coming off a interesting night in high tide just a night ago. Rick Thompson will start in 12th. Mike Neverson will start in 13th, with Andrew Caldwell in 14th. Craig Meyer start down the 15th position today. Lee Campbell down in 16th. 17th goes to Jackie Brennan, with Gary Bowman down in 18th. Paxton Frith will start 19th, and Andrew Popejoy rounds out your top 20. 21st goes to Brian Dorsey. Nathan Dufton will start down in 22nd. 23rd goes to Edward Jurgen, followed by David Gainforth. It's Nicholas Popejoy down in 25th, with Andy Cork down another position. Chris Rose will start down 27th. Stephen Music will start in that spot falling behind. Once the top 28, those were the drivers who took times. Of those who did not take times tonight, Frank DiMaccio, Leroy Klobitz, Corey Sherman, Carter Lawson, Gary Piccolo, Fred Thompson, Dwayne Young, James Kinder, along with Brandon Thompson, Don Dangler Jr., and Casey Tomlinson. As you can see, your weather conditions for tonight are on screen for this evening, where it's going to be a cool sky, 67 degrees air temp. It'll stay that way the entire time at 69 for the track temp. Keep in mind, 40, 50, and then 110 are your stage lanes over the 200 lapper. Now, 70% should say fuel is the limit, with a 5 tire set available mark. Meaning, these drivers, in theory, should be able to make the stage for the first one, if potentially the second on fuel. It might be a bit touch and go for second, but we will have 1 or 2 stops in stage 3. So all these drivers are getting all set to go for tonight's festivities. We're happy to have you with us for tonight for Rush Championship Series competition. Iowa Farms 175. So far this season, we've had a lot of twists here for this evening. But now we get set for an interesting one, because night conditions are a little bit different. I think some people have noted when it comes to the last build, because it's a little bit darker now in Sim. It used to be a bit more brighter, but now with the new lighting, it's become an adjustment period for some drivers. Some broadcasts that we've seen over the past couple of days from our broadcasters since the update have seen it be very orange until the lights turn on. The lights are on. It is misty out, but we're getting set to go racing. 175 miles ready to go here from Iowa. We're happy to have you with us here on Precision Entertainment for coverage of Cyber Thunder. They'll go for an hour pace lap, as they've added an additional pace lap to the procedure before we get going. But keep in mind, Greg Mitchell looking to keep up some great momentum with the points lead, obviously with a big cushion. But some of the drivers looking to pick up spots, like Steverson in 178. Cody Gibson with the outside front row is good on the 1.5 miles usually. A lot of fast drivers look to do well tonight. Of note, Andrew Popejoy elected to start this race from pit road. So as these cars get themselves set to go, it's going to be an interesting night. For those watching along tonight, be sure to say hello on the social medias and keep an eye on what's going on race car wise. These people, after all, have their camera views, so we can check out what's up with them. One VR, one below the steering wheel angle, one about even for their blue room. Look at those views as the night goes on, but we're ready to go. The Iowa Farms 175 is underway from Newton, Iowa. Clean start for Mitchell, nearly spins it though, he's in the wall. Gibson drives to the inside. Mitchell able to stabilize it, but did pick up some fender damage. That is an issue potentially off turn 4 here at Iowa Speedway. Drivers will lose grip coming across the seams out of 4. Mind you, most of the field should stay towards the bottom of the racetrack with the newer pavement. A couple are testing the higher grooves where some of the older pavement is. Second spot up for grabs already for Brad Holmes, already clearing on by from Sobel. Rick Thompson, see his view. He's got the VR headset tonight. Picked up a spot. Andrew Popejoy just exited the pit, just to the left of the racetrack also. Looks like he's got it on through. For the most part, the field getting 2x2 in some parts, single file in others. Used to be a multi-groove track where you'd see people run up against the wall, especially in turns 3 and 4. It's a little bit harder these days. Lee Campbell will be a good example when you're in traffic, how difficult it will be. Around 17th, 18th spot right now for the 60. But he is amongst those forced to run the second line here in the lug nut machine. Chasing RC.com car, just trying to find a hole, ride in it, trying to search for a bit of clean air too with the racing line. how difficult it's going to be throughout the night to make sure the car rotates in traffic this evening. At this point, once we're stuck in traffic, keep in mind in the top 4 is Eric Anderson, one of the Royal Crown Kohler cars currently in the field. Going with the petty blue look here this evening. His pace starting off with the 24 flats. That's 3/10 off the pace of Cody Gibson, your race leader, though. Might be trying to back up a little bit, save those Goodyear Eagles. By the way, most spots gained in the first 6 laps. Dwayne Young has already gone up 10. Corey Sherman up 7. Dufton and Jurgen have each gone up 6 along with Piccolo so far in this one. Here's a look at Dwayne Young. He is your 3rd view tonight. Just so happens to be attacking Sherman. Look at how much he's having to work those hands. Right now chewing up the lip, it almost looks like, in terms of how intense it's feeling in the heart of the pack. But that's to be expected here at Iowa. With the intensity of some of the side-by-side, you'll see several laps at a time. Kettering University machine still not yet declared, does clear at least one spot. Chris Rose and Jackie Brennan. Big lead for the race leader, by the way. For those who follow along with Gibson in his racing exploits in several different series, not a surprise. He's been able to do this in a couple different vehicles. 5 Kings Motorsports to support out of the series. He is taking off right now, 1.5 seconds up, but it is starting to become equalized out, so may have pushed hard to get the gap, to get a distance. Right now you see heart of the field, Gerard Anderson runs in the 9th position as we go. Seems just trying to play the lines in the midst of all this traffic, but you can tell drivers like Larry Bell are struggling a little bit in the dirty air. The USA Firearms machine is getting freight trained by a couple different competitors. Has already dropped back 4, making about 4 indeed with that pass. You'll see a lot of people go back and forth through this order over the course of this first stage. Remember, 40 laps is that mark. Drop dead time essentially for this stage will be lap 35 if there's a caution after the point that would end the stage. Caldwell Thompson, who's already lost a spot, looking to battle back for it. Caldwell to his outside, one of the Canadians in the field. See how aggressive he's having to be in terms of the angle of his car. Mind you, it's difficult to rotate off the bottom a bit off corner exit. Will chew up your tires a little bit more as you try and make the pass. Logan Spencer, for comparison's sake, able to free up the wheel, lighten his steering load a little bit while he's exiting the corners, but he's already pushing tight because of some of the traffic. Caldwell still not yet to clear as he works his way around the outside of the racetrack. Thompson continues to wrap the bottom of the circuit. Caldwell looking to clear as Thompson gets loose. Does clear. That secures him back to the 11th position. Some comfortable. Back to Dwayne Young and checking in on his progress at the back of the field. Some of the cars like Corey Sherman also opening doors for him. Near contact with Frith. The RBSA Architects car nearly built a bad move there. And now he's getting hit from behind, parked on Nicholas Popejoy's nose. Popejoy getting a little bit aggressive on the entry previously. Still side by side with one of the red line cars. Craig Meyer trying to wrap the bottom. Still searching about in the early going of the stage. Here's Semple. Keep an eye on the most position gains as the night goes on. The Alto construction machine continues to plan things out, wanting back Wilkins and company. The back of the field, where Thompson is currently amongst those in 12. Still has that 20, really trying to dig and gain up positions here. Oh, inside, Logan Spencer trying to force the squeeze. Lines being played with several times over last week. For those who missed, it was an absolute blender of a race where several different drivers contended for top spots. there were several late pit stop sequences. Mitchell was the one who picked up the win last time out. Semple second. Richter, Payne, Caldwell were the top 5 of that race. Rick Thompson was in the top 10 of that said race. We're still following on board with. But it was almost like a musical chairs of who was up in the front, who was in the back, who was everywhere, to say the least. Caldwell, you see for his mark, by the way, very least able to power his way ahead of Thompson's fights to still hold on to 12. That's going to allow him at the very least to surge. He is preferring the higher grooves, where some of the newer pavement is down, but it's below what essentially is the third seam where there's still a lot of bumps. About 20 laps in, this time by here tonight in Cyber Thunder. As we continue to see how things progress here tonight. Dustin Payne, the iRacing stalwarts, working his way to 9th. Will pass on by Fred Thompson. First lap traffic from Speed Mafia tonight. For those who wonder, yes, there are a lot of Thompsons, to say the very least, in the iRacing scene. A majority of them are on Speed Mafia. We've seen them in a lot of different leagues pop up in the racing escapades here on iRacing. Semple, one of the top drivers points we talked about, keeping up pretty well and building a distance over some of the others. Hearing Jason Raymond may have had an issue where he hit the wall. He said all by himself just a moment ago. Right now, he is currently amongst those running towards the front of the field in 6th. Look at the gaggle in the back of the field, though. This gaggle is not really calming down per se. Andy Cork has music in front. He has Rose, Lawson, Frith, Dorsey, who've all fell back into his range. For the most part, everybody is having an issue getting themselves pulled up now that we burned a few laps on the tires. Everyone's starting to get lockstep. The longer these runs go, the harder it will be to make passes after all. Anderson, a good measure of that. Last time by, Anderson ran the same pace just about as Wilkins, within a few hundredths of it. Their average over the past 5 within 4 1,000ths of each other on average. By the way, fastest laps of the race still by Cody Gibson. He was in the 23.6s when he set that. What's he doing up front? Let's follow on board and take a listen for a moment. See how smooth he's keeping it. Right now he's up by 2.2 seconds. Has a little bit less fall than some of the others, although Holmes is starting to equalize a little bit. He's a few hundredths off of it. So right now we are already zipping away towards the end of the stage. Less than 15 to go in it. Right now, some of the others continuing to scrap on the bottom of the racetrack. You can tell Larry Bell's not comfortable. Good qualifying, not great race pace. He's fallen to 13th, making 14th on the pylon. Canadian in a lot of the races seen has been bounced around a bit as of late. Right now, this is just falling off purely on speed in the Pit Lizard performance car. All of this as well. See, Jurgen, he's going the right direction. He's been keeping the lawn nice and trimmed here tonight, and that he's avoided the grass and adding runs to it. He sees, though, Gary Bowman, the Daytona winner, up at the wall. Bowman going backwards. Bowman having a rough time at that moment. Right now, he is back to where he started by one spot. He started 18th. Running the mid to backpack tonight. For second, here comes the move from Anderson. Got a better run off the corner, got loose. Holmes keeps the speed up on the outside. Tell Holmes is trying to find a way to get the car to rotate while using the upper hand of the high line to block, but the problem is technical issues may cause a problem. That time he comes back, but he's discombobulated. He's in the wall. Nearly smacked it down. Anderson rips it away. Here comes Semple. He'll bring Mitchell with him too. Take a look at your AI Chief instant replay tonight. And what do we say about the higher grooves? It's an issue where it's a bit more bumpier. It's almost like he was thrown off at his braking marks initially. Then right here, car doesn't turn, has to let off the gas, avoids the fence, but loses the time. All that's while Semple has taken away third spot in live action. So, the 0-0 falling back with less than 10 to go on the stage. Mitchell looking to pick up at least one more spot here. Car dealing with the cut to the fender, but doesn't seem really hampered by it tonight so far. See how aggressive he is on some of these entries compared to what we're seeing from Holmes. Mitchell continues to play things cautiously as he tries to find a way to poke ahead. We're now down to 7 to go in stage 1, a quick stage 1 tonight here for the Iowa Farms 175. Remember, stage will be 50 laps at stage 2, so a little longer distance. The 40 makes it basically a sprint of about maybe 20, maybe 15 minutes when you add it up by minutes after all for this field. Should see everyone take tires when we have the pit stops coming up a little bit, but we do have lap traffic up the road, by the way. Fred Thompson, second time. Mitchell will have the caution come out, and this is going to be an interesting one. It's right at lap 35. Caution is out. The 51 of Meyer has to tow, and that is in the designation window. That is the stage for stage 1. Gibson, Anderson, Semple, Holmes, Mitchell, Raymond, Payne, Rick Thompson, Anderson, Wilkins, the top 10. Because of this, Young was in it. Dwayne Young was trying to run higher up and just got his right front crushed in. Meyer, though, can argue he didn't exit the wall the 08 did. Gets him turned around for it. That's enough to trigger the first caution flag of the night. An awkward time, too. That may cause fuel strategy to be big in stage 2. See them suction together, and that little shot is enough to crush in the fender. Motor hearing may be gone for Meyer, and that's why he towed immediately in the 51. Are you enjoying Cyber Thunder? Well, say hello in our comment section tonight. Hope you're enjoying tonight's coverage here of the Rush Championship Series, powered by AI Chief so far tonight, here from Iowa. Again, AI Chief, again, our partner when it comes to the series sponsor this season, AI Chief. Box now. Fuel, tires, and trash talking included. AI Chief Racing is your virtual crew chief, making pit calls, strategy plans, and roast you all the way to the checker flag. AIChiefRacing.com. So as we continue on, we'll take a quick break. We'll break you through the rest of the field as we get ready for stage 2 here on Precision.
You are watching Precision Entertainment. Let's take a quick break from the action of the Cyber Thunder Rush Championship Series, presented by me, AI Chief. Now, driver, while the field gets sorted out and someone out there is still trying to find reverse, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the middle of a race and thought, man, I really wish someone in my headset would tell me what the hell is going on? Maybe you're running out of fuel. Maybe the leader is about to lap you. Maybe you just wrecked half the field and you're pretending it wasn't your fault. Well, driver, that's where I come in. AI Chief. your personal crew chief, race strategist, motivator, and occasionally the only voice of reason between you and the outside wall. With AI Chief, you get live race strategy, fuel and pit calls, real-time race updates, savage coaching when you start doing something dumb, and trust me, based on what I've seen out there tonight, some of you really need the help. AI Chief doesn't just tell you when to pit, he tells you when to save fuel, when to push, and when to maybe, just maybe, stop trying to go 3 wide into turn 1. So if you're tired of racing blind and you'd like a crew chief that actually knows what he's doing, head over to AIChiefRacing.com and let Chief get you sorted out. Because the only thing worse than wrecking is wrecking without knowing why. AI Chief, I've got your back. Now let's get back to the action.
Welcome back to Precision Entertainment for tonight's coverage of Cyber Thunder. Justin Prince with you, Ryan Bauer, our producer this evening. The cameras provided by Whiplash Sim Cams this evening. As we get set for the restart, Cody Gibson's been the dominant car. Now fuel mileage is going to be a talking point because we're going to go essentially not 50, but 51 green flag laps with the pit stops and pace laps, or around 54, 55-ish. We'll find out if everyone's going to be able to make the distance in a little bit. Semple got the second with pit stops. Anderson followed by Holmes. You'll have also Jason Raymond and Dakota Wilkins up in the top 6. All set to get back underway. The Iowa Forms 175 Stage 2 underway. Quick getaway for Gibson up at the front of the field. Already Holmes is trying to spin himself. Went too high up the track. Lost grip and crashes into the field. Caution flag is out. And the Iowa Speedway machine rolls down the banking with significant damage. Could see it happening, as you'll see on the AI Chief replay. Got loose, going high up out of the bumps, ran across part of the seams, in fact, hooked around, and then bounced off Raymond. See as it hooks around and bounces him up and into the wall he goes, right into the path of part of the pack. First one that got him was Nicholas Popejoy with significant damage. Then a second hit for Steven Music that bounced him off of Chris Rose. Here's a look from Anderson. My goodness, what a dodge. Not a dodge from Popejoy. Now take a look at this one more time. Popejoy, just an instant bystander. In a few seconds, you'll have a jump scare. Hello, Hood. Well, the Hood phases back into place, but that car is demolished either way. At least 2-3 other cars got collected. Also, James Kinder did get collected also because some of the others rolled down the hill into his path. So at least a 5-car incident for a first caution, or second really for cause, 1 counted at the stage end. Shouldn't see anybody come down to join pit road. You can see the discussion some of the drivers are now having. They get themselves situated. Race control already has indicated there's going to be a committee after tonight because there wasn't a claim for the previous caution. Some of the drivers are already indicating who's involved and who's not. Gibson gets the chance to control this field from the front. Currently working our way through the pace laps under this caution flag. This should, and very well likely, make sure everyone's okay on fuel as a result here in theory. Of note, some of the drivers that are on the move outside the top 10 still are Corey Sherman. Keep an eye on him because he's progressing forward in the AI Chief Toyota. The weather is also a talking point because you see that curve. The track temperature has been going up. The air temperature has stayed stagnant though over the course of this run. So 72 is your current track temp. Air temp staying at 67. Those winds though are making it a bit treacherous. It's expected to stay windy for the entire course of the race. It's currently blowing to about the southwest-ish around the racetrack at the moment. Get the compass out because iRacing does include a compass now. That would be essentially towards turn 3. So pileup puts us under caution so far. Now we have already 31 cars remaining. We've lost about 7 or 8 machines. Some of them not for that incident, like Don Dangler Jr. Others are indeed off, like Piccolo and Meyer. Brad Holmes is officially out for the most recent incident. Hopejoy Kinder's still trying to run. Fred Thompson's laps down. Music is a part of a tow. Getting all set to go for the restart. In control, Cody Gibson. Looked comfortable all night so far. Is Cheeto's machine looking to try and snack away for lead laps. We're backing away. Gibson with a good jump in the restart zone. Semple now looks to play defense as Raymond works to the outside of Anderson. No spin arounds this time. Kinder has come down a pair row, but is staying on the apron. Might be slow enough to trigger a yellow. It doesn't look like it may happen, but everybody else gets into a rhythm. Second is up for grabs. Anderson got the run. Thompson trying to set things up after he picked up some spots. Now to 7. Right now, Semple really trying to get the car to rotate, but Eric Anderson really wraps the inside. Can he get the edge? Yes, he can. Anderson moves up a spot. Raymond stays in the choo-choo tray. Oh, and contact with the wall. Semple forces Raymond off the gas. Here comes the 20. Stephenson trying to now make a move as he tries to wrap himself the inside of the 5 Kings car of Raymond. Raymond gives space. Now goes lower on exit to force the 20 to lift. Back and forth we go for what is essentially the 4th spot. Leaders already checked out by more than a second and a half. Anderson no good on the corner. Gives it back to Semple. 3 Chevys and a Ford all under a blanket. Raymond gets too low this time, has to bobble. Now they're joined by a Toyota in the mark. Caldwell already hit in the rear off one of these stack-ups off the start. Damage isn't hurting him though. He's working pretty well with his arrow on the front. Coming up to what's going to be 41 to go on the stage this time by Anderson. Now losing ground. Semple has put on the afterburners where he's running similar pace to the leader by half a tenth. Anderson, he's 2/10 off that mark of second. All of a sudden, Anderson may have burned up a little bit too much of the fuel goods on the short run. He's now up out of the groove. Couldn't get it to rotate out of the old pavement. Here comes Caldwell. Caldwell still working to the inside. Anderson and Thompson are in the wings, in position to battle soon. They'll take on Anderson in a moment because Anderson's struggling too tight. Whatever he's done with that car, not looking stable here. Lead is up to 1.7 seconds, by the way, as we continue to look at some of the viewpoints. Lee Campbell was up in the top 10 on the restart, is going backwards for his mark. Jurgen has already passed by him. In fact, he's in the wall. Mitchell behind, Spencer beside. The 19. A little bit more grip, but not able to clear yet. Forced off the gas. Mitchell checks up also. See some of the drivers like Frith are being forced to check up also aggressively right there. Brian Dorsey is the one now next to him. The 9 machine will try to take advantage of the 21 as the Fords both bobble off the corner. Dorsey has the power off, and looks like he might pass, and we have trouble. It's Anderson. Rick Thompson may have been involved. A couple others slammed the wall. Anderson had been in the wall, coming down the front straightaway, and corrected it right across the nose of the 76. AI Chief instant replay. Let's take a look at this. As you can see, Anderson too high up. Smacked the wall, tugs it out of the wall here and right into Thompson. And a few drivers are forced to slam the wall down to avoid. Looks like Frith got hit and Larry Bell's worst hits continue. Larry Bell has not had too much luck the past few weeks, if not the past month. Let's take a look at this again. 5 has taken the claim. Yeah, that was just Anderson pointing out of the wall. Thompson avoiding significant damage there, if anything. Anderson got destroyed. A couple others got demolished too. The parking lot, Frith got slammed into all of that. He's got a blown motor already. Dwayne Young, what did he see? I believe he might have been one of those who jumped in. Oh, he tried to floor it on the outside to get around the crash. Didn't work at all. Wasn't clear by the time he got there. Dwayne Young has demolished his car. Right here, he tries to shoot the outside, and problem is, they've already committed. Nothing he can do except hit Bell. Then he tries to move out of the way as he tries to get back forward. Under caution, once again for incident, and you can see all he can do is stare stunningly at the damage repair and his lollipop man telling him, here's what you have to do with the car. He's already losing a lap. Take a quick break. Under caution, you're watching the Iowa Farms 175 on Precision Entertainment.
You are watching Precision Entertainment. Let's take a quick break from the action of the Cyber Thunder Rush Championship Series, presented by me, AI Chief. Now, driver, while the field gets sorted out and someone out there is still trying to find reverse, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the middle of a race and thought, man, I really wish someone in my headset would tell me what the hell is going on? Maybe you're running out of fuel. Maybe the leader is about to lap you. Maybe you just wrecked half the field and you're pretending it wasn't your fault. Well, driver, that's where I come in. AI Chief, your personal crew chief, race strategist, motivator, and occasionally the only voice of reason between you and the outside wall. With AI Chief, you get live race strategy, fuel and pit calls, real-time race updates, savage coaching when you start...
Welcome back, everyone, to Precision Entertainment for tonight's coverage of the Iowa Farms 175, where Cody Gibson has dominated the race so far. His teammate, Jason Raymond, is up to second now. Semple didn't get the jump for the outside. Stuyvesant and Caldwell looking to fight behind him as they battle it out for the spot. Semple hits the wall again. Some small scrapes there as Caldwell able to get the jump around Semple. Semple backing up his corners a lot, but the caution is out again. It's at the back of the field and involves Copeland, who goes around in the Fowler tire machine. Gets collected by Jackie Brennan. That sends him up in the fence. Also collected Dakota Wilkins and maybe one other. Let's take a look at your AI Chief replay. Instant replay is brought to you by AI Chief. Clipped in the fender here after that chuck of involvement to 7. So that turns them around a good bit as a result. That was Casey Tomlinson who had issues. Trying to let it roll, and then gets clobbered the rear end thing down the track, collecting one or two others. I believe that's one of the Popejoys. Andrew Popejoy, yes it is. See Andrew Popejoy just running the bottom and is thinking, I'm down here. Not much else he can do except slam in. Fender damage. Likely will have to come down pit road for repairs. See right again. Not much the 42 could do after getting hooked in the right rear quarter panel. Gets bounced around the track for the secondary contact. That's what puts us back under the yellow flag. Cautions, precautions here from Iowa Speedway. Gibson so far has led 61 of 61 laps complete. Remember, this stage will go up to essentially lap 90 if you read your counts correctly. Then we'll have 110 laps where fuel mileage is set to come into play. Remember, the regular runs for these cars can go up to about 85, 90-ish laps, give or take. Maybe up to 100 on a full tank. So when you reduce that down, you're talking possibly a one-stopper, if not near two, depending on how you feel about tire fall off. Already seen more than a second, a quarter with these runs. So the field will continue to pace around and get set to go for a restart in the next few moments. A lot of drivers up double digits inside the top 10. That includes Caldwell. Dufton is up 14. So is Jurgen. Sherman, for his sake, was moving up to the pack. He's also up 25 to get up to 6. And Sherman is one of the drivers we know who's good at stage points so far for the wild card. Remember, second in the wild card standings coming in. Tomlinson try and zip his way forward here in this circumstance, catch up to the field. A lot of race control discussions coming over to the radio as they try and sort each other out here. But your top 10 is like this. It's Gibson and Raymond, Caldwell and Semple, Stubberson and Sherman, Anderson and Dufton, Jurgen and Mitchell. Remember, Mitchell actually had to get repairs done on the fender. That's why he lost a few extra spots during his pit stop. He is right now just inside the top 10. So the caution has gone unclaimed over race control. So that means the committee will have multiple different cautions to review here tonight to determine who gets faults and who gets penalties here in Rush Championship Series racing. So as we go, we have 22, make it 23 on the lead lap. Again, getting all set to go with less than 30 to go here on the stage. Take a listen to the sights and sounds as they get the roar of the restart. Here on Precision, take a listen as they rev them up. Looking good off the start, not as big of a jump immediately off the fourth set, but Gibson and Raymond working as one to try and keep a team 1-2. Caldwell really letting the car roll to keep up with these drivers, maybe starting with depth a little bit. We'll see how his long run speed fares out though. Here's a look at one of the drivers cutting through the field, Dufton. Trying to find his way through the marks again. He's one of the Toyotas, the first Auto Group car. And the slip in front of Anderson. Next up is 6th in the 20 car. Looks like Caldwell under attack by Sherman, in fact, next, because Semple is able to get in front of the 46 again up the road, by the way. Right now, Sherman really getting the momentum going. His average speed over the past 5 green flag laps has been in the 24 flats. That is quicker than second place, in fact, for the 3 car. Right now, all of them making their way through the front straightaway because some of the drivers are in the wall, like Cork. Andy Cork ends up scraping the wall down that time in the 41 car. Will keep on going, though. He's right now running in amongst the teams, around 15th position, where Rick Thompson tries to zoom by. Rick, for his mark, really trying to find a way to get the bottom of the racetrack to work here. Cork goes a little bit too high up on the right side tires. Now force Cork up on the gas. See right now how Thompson is trying to work his way through the track. It's a handful of a car here to drive when it comes to this package. Remember, a few weeks ago, iRacing did update the drafting model and the physics and the setups for these cars. And a little bit more difficultly in the heart of the traffic. It's going to be much harder to make passes. We've seen that so far with Vegas a little bit, and here tonight especially. Sherman currently zipping his way on by in the top 5, by the way. Has equalized out, if not lost ground, last couple laps. So he's having a hard time chipping away that deficit to make sure he gets a buffer. Right now, Jurgen, he's not finished chipping away, though. His 92 car looking for an attack. Trying to work the inside line. Jurgen, one of those working on his own here tonight. Right now, Duffton to his outside. Greg Mitchell also to the inside, looking to regain spots. It's been a rough night for Mitchell, you could argue, to his standards at least, as the points leader. But so far, at the very least, he's been able to keep the car despite the scuffles in the top 10. Campbell's been going the wrong way, by the way. Remember, was up in the top 10 a little while ago. Right now, he's chasing something, anything, to find speed. Working his way to the inside, trying to battle it out for 15th spot. Don't know if that's going to work, though, because Thompson has the preferred line for the exit, at least. Yes, indeed. Able to clear up by the 60. The only saving grace to him to keep side-by-side as Rhodes is causing checkups here. See some of the side-by-side between their viewpoints. Thompson's on your left. Then on your inside, on the right side rather, is Campbell. Campbell really having to keep the wheel pretty smooth here, right here. You see that's direct drive wheel. Looks like one of the Fanatec's based on the wheel base that he's trying to manhandle around here. See them continue to try and play things out pretty smoothly over the course of this run. Plenty of time, though, to make these moves to get up to stage points. Right now, Spencer is at the borderline of it. Speaking of some of the moves, though, remember Raymond running second much of the way? Well, he even has lost ground to his own teammate. Semple is looking for second from him. Semple clears on by on the outside, able to zip by. Semple is up to P2. Caldwell also looking to take advantage. It looks like Raymond may have burned the tires up a little bit too hard. Right now, Thompson trying to make his way ahead of Corey Sherman, by the way. Remember, the 3 had equalized out. Now he's falling off that cliff. Still working his way on the side-by-side. Looks like he hits a push-up for Sherman, and down the track goes the 20 for the spot. take it away. Sherman trying to cross him over, though. See, Mitchell really trying to test out different margins. You see, though, how bumpy it is compared to the new pavement. It's going to be difficult to get that groove to work up there. Oh, and contact! The 3, Kinks the hit with the 20. Stuyvesant pushed up into the wall. No caution, we stay green. The 20's right side is destroyed. That will take him 3 wide. He's in the wall. Broken suspension. Let's take a look at your AI Chief instant replay. The 20 needs to get to Peril Road. Wonder if this is going to get looked at post-race or not. Remember, Mike, one of the admins, he's broken the suspension because of this here off the corner. They'll have to ping-pong him back to the wall to try to save the car. The 3 tried to give him a break there, but it didn't work. And you can see the right front tire is toast. Oh, that's enough to keep us still racing with under 10 to go in the stage, by the way. Gibson still holds on over the rest of the field now by 1.7, 1.8 seconds just about. Where are some of the air battles going for? Well, Thompson did find his way around Rose at the least. And we turn around. You also have lap traffic. Young's fixed all the damage. However, he's running 26th, 17 laps down. He just got hit behind Thompson. Chris Rose held on to his door. They both held on to it off the corner. A lot of side-by-side working through, coming around the 6 to go on the stage. Here is Young trying to at least score some points. He only has 1 car he can pass. It's the 20 car. Everybody else is running on the track that is ahead of him on the pylon. Coming up 5 to go on the stage, Logan Spencer. Really decent run tonight, you can argue. Spencer, not one of the top drivers in the standings, not one of the drivers in the wild card even so far. But this evening has stayed relatively consistent to keep himself planted firmly. One of his better tracks, it seems. Right now, running out of time for some of the other spots in terms of making sure you hold on to him at least. Raymond does have a cushion over Sherman. But Sherman is going to have to deal potentially with one of these two. Jurgen and Mitchell are looking to carve their way ahead here late. See, right now, Mitchell really trying to dig at this viewpoint so far. They've worked their way through. Right now, as they work their way through, Mitchell tries to find his way around, gets himself ahead. Sherman, though, still pulls ahead. Jurgen trying to make the move, coming up to 2 to go. Coming up to a couple laps to go here in this one. See how well things are working on the final time around for Gibson. He's led every lap so far here tonight. See how things have been tonight for the one. It's been smooth, it's been dominant, it's been precise. Cody Gibson wins stage 2. Do so under green flank conditions. Semple, Caldwell. Top 3, Raymond, Sherman, Mitchell, Jurgen, Spencer, Campbell, Dorsey are amongst your top 10. So a solid run through stage 2, but a dominant effort. One Cody Gibson. He continues to control this field up at the front of the pack. We'll look to try and maintain that as we work our way to pit stops. Can anybody dethrone the one car? That seems to be the toughest challenge of the night. As we get set for likely going to be a one-stopper based on the distances here for stage 3. We'll see where things now get shaped up and where some of the drivers really play things out on strategy. Here we go, time for pit stops. Gibson continues to march their way to the front and will look to try and steady himself over everybody else. See how everything sorts out down pit road. Let things steady out themselves here. Remember, it's one of 2 different broadcasts we have this week here on Precision Entertainment. Remember, Moonshiners will also be taking place tomorrow night, where they'll be racing upcoming over at the paperclip, ready to get the body panels buffed out. We'll see what happens tomorrow night from Precision. But it's Cody Gibson who does win the race off pit road over Semple. 4 tires and fuel for the field. Caldwell, Raymond, Mitchell, your top 5. Let's take a break. You're watching Precision Entertainment here from Iowa.
You are watching Precision Entertainment. Let's take a quick break from the action of the Cyber Thunder Rush Championship Series, presented by me, AI Chief. Now, driver, while the field gets sorted out and someone out there is still trying to find reverse, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the middle of a race and thought, man, I really wish someone in my headset would tell me what the hell is going on? Maybe you're running out of fuel. Maybe the leader is about to lap you. Maybe you just wrecked half the field and you're pretending it wasn't your fault. Well, driver, that's where I come in. AI Chief, your personal crew chief, race strategist, motivator, and occasionally the only voice of reason between you and the outside wall. With AI Chief, you get live race strategy, fuel and pit calls, real-time race updates, savage coaching when you start doing something dumb, and trust me, based on what I've seen out there tonight, some of you really need the help. AI Chief doesn't just tell you when to pit, he tells you when to save fuel, when to push, and when to maybe, just maybe, stop trying to go 3 wide into turn 1. So if you're tired of racing blind and you'd like a crew chief that actually knows what he's doing, head over to AIChiefRacing.com and let Chief get you sorted out. Because the only thing worse than wrecking is wrecking without knowing why. AI Chief, I've got your back. Now let's get back to the action.
Welcome back to tonight's action for the Iowa Farms 175. Justin Prince with you, Ryan Bauer, our producer, as we get ready for stage 3. Remember this stage, 110 laps the distance. That means for these drivers with the 70% fuel, they'll be tested for the most part. Everyone should still have 3 tire sets remaining, meaning there should be no major issues, in most cases at least, if you need tires. Taking our listen as we get ourselves restarted. Fresh tires. Get ready to take a listen to all the sights and sounds from Iowa. We'll take a listen for a few laps as they go zoom here from the cornfields of Newton, Iowa. Listen in from Gibson. Caution flag is out on the speedway. We have an issue. That's put us back at our yellow. This will put us back at the caution flag because Dufton has gone around. Allow drivers to save a little bit more fuel. Here's your AI Chief instant replay. See what happened. See, right there, just lost in mid-corner. Great job to make sure it doesn't go fully around, but it's still enough to trigger yellow. See, right there, it snaps. It's enough to cause this back to the yellow. So yellow flag situation once again. So far for those two, and Gibson has controlled this entire race with 97 laps led now. It's been a difficult night to pass him, to say the very least. But for now, he gets to maintain what is a dominant effort. See, as these drivers continue to pace around, some sense of urgency if you're drivers like Pope, Joy, Dumpton, and Tomlinson to fix your race cars. Everybody else is maintaining themselves in terms of the patience. So as we get set for an upcoming restart, remember, drivers like Jurgen are some of the faster cars on the track. Don't be surprised if Jurgen is in contention for the top 5 by the end of this run. Extra pace lap going to be coming up here as these drivers continue to work themselves into the tire pressures here. Hope you enjoyed tonight's action. If you have anything to ask or say, be sure to step in and ask. Your Precision Entertainment for the Iowa Farms 175. Again, remember they're going to road course racing next time out. It's a race over at Watkins Glen. Be sure to tune in then next week. Reset your top 10 as we get set to go. It's Gibson, Semple, Mitchell, Sherman, Caldwell, Raymond, followed by Spencer, Jurgen, Anderson, and Campbell. Are part of your top 10. Should get one to green this time by. Sherman still your biggest mover, by the way. 27 spots up. Tomlinson's picked up a few spots since the early struggles. Still 20. Thing is, it's all the way back from the rear end of the field. Duffton has taken the cause of caution and will head to the tail. As you see some of the drivers continuing steady on out as we pass the halfway point officially in this one. Again, Gibson's been really good off the launch so far tonight. We'll find out how everyone does in a moment. So as we get set to go, keep an eye on the launch. Will Semple be able to find a way to keep up with the one? Or will Gibson prove to be the one to dominate them all? Green flags out, back and away. Right now, everybody else trying to steady themselves out in the heart of the field. Sherman amongst those trying to go on the offensive. Caution flag is out again. Another yellow flag. This time it's at the back. Gain fourth as amongst those who go around. Had contact with Dakota Wilkins to put us under the yellow. Let's take a look at this one. Watch for the 70-80. He's coming up the inside. As you can see, the 15 checked up. Then started to come down, it looked like, at that angle. At least to try and battle it out. Wilkinson involved, so he's not claiming responsibility for it. Right there, just blends down. 15 says he will claim it. Gainworth will take responsibility, he confirmed on the radio. Carter Lawson. You see him trying to aim for a hole? Well, he got by it. A decent view of it. We'll see this one more time from the front. See him just have contact down low and up the racetrack go those two as they zip on by. So, as we're under caution once again for tonight's coverage, I'd like to thank this season's sponsor, AI Chief Box Now. Fuel, tires, trash talking included, AI Chief Racing is your virtual crew chief, making pit calls, strategy plans, and roasting you all the way to the checker flag. Find out more by going to www.aichiefracing.com. To say the very least, it will roast you. Very much so, by the way. It is a very, very, very pointed AI and has developed a very big community in terms of supporters AI Chief has so far. Upwards of hundreds have been able to get involved in AI Chief so far and learn what the program does. Spotter help is spotter help. So all that being said, as you can see, the temperatures of the racetrack are actually going down a little bit because of some of the pace laps here. It's down to 70. The air temp is also starting to plummet even more. The winds have stayed high, but it's going to get cooler as the race goes on. As you can tell with all this, Corey Sherman still going to be very happy with this speed. Already now up, still 27, but that puts him inside the top 5 as we go. So as this goes for some of the others, Tomlinson at the very least trying to recover. Chris Rose is towards the back, but he's inside the top 15-ish now at least. So he's slowly getting better. Some of these drivers really trying to position themselves late. Let's find out how this goes. We are coming up to 93 to go. We're still not in the window to make it. Game 4 again took the EOL penalty for this caution. Find out how this restart now goes as we get set to go once again with Gibson maintaining control. Green flag goes out, we're backing away. Mitchell alongside him off the launch. Right now attacking and pulling away. Looks like Sherman at least getting to the outside to work for the battle for third. Semple trying to wrap the inside. Raymond watches in the popcorn seat. Sherman really made it stick barely on the racing line. He has the run for third. The 3 car wants third away. Semple loses ground off the bottom again out of 2. Sherman not yet been able to clear in all this. Might have a chance here. Nearly overlapped, nearly passed. Off the corner, it is clear. Sherman up to third. You can see everybody single filing out as they try and settle themselves in. Logan Spencer's the first side-by-side at the moment. Some of the others are offset. Spencer just zipped off by the 46th like he was standing still. Caldwell didn't have a good run corner entry. Jurgen for his mark. Just shuffled Anderson up the track. Anderson losing rotation yet again, struggling all race high side. Battle is still on off the road. You see Thompson settle in. Semple and Sherman also squaring away. But right now, everybody trying to figure out where they're going to settle in once the pack really starts to spread. Caution flag is out. Let's pack them instead. Car around on the front straightaway, Dakota Wilkins. Side by side with one of the lap cars, Dwayne Young. Young ran much lower, then to the outside wall and exits. And as you'll see on the AI Chief instant replay, the 78 was now expecting the 08 to run middle. Pretty clear cut, pretty obvious, but it's up to race control and the claims to decide things. We'll see how the post-race discussions go for those who don't claim it. Dustin Ping has good measure. You'll watch Ping. See how he starts coming up? 08 does not. So we're under caution once again. We're coming up to 87 laps to go. Remember, we're still outside the estimated fuel window when it comes to the estimated fuel tanks for these cars tonight at 70%. Young, at the very least, is said involved for his claim. So, we'll find out how the rest of this field will shape things up when we get sorted. By the way, Rick Thompson has elected to roll the dice on strategy here. He and Dustin Payne are amongst those cars who have just came down pit road. Wilkins and Brent Thompson are also down. Looks like we'll keep an eye on if there's any damage repair to deal with here. As we continue to go around here tonight as Rick Thompson completes the service, why don't we talk to Rick Thompson? Rick, do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
What's the plan here with this strategy going off cycle to most of the field here?
Yeah, normally we don't get this many yellows, but I'm hoping that if we get a few more, I might be able to save enough gas and maybe push it to the end. It's going to be real tight if I do, but might as well get off cycle and get some better tires than the guys in front of me and see what happens.
I was going to say, has fuel been in the thought process so far? What is the mileage looking like at a 70% cap?
Right now, if it's full green flags, then usually you could get around like 68, 69, maybe 70 laps. And so that's why I said if we keep getting yellows like this, then, you know, we might be able to push it and get to the end. You never know.
So, do you plan to attack these drivers then while you save the gas, or are you just going to back off and try and clutch the coast and wait for the cautions?
I think I'm gonna, I mean, everybody says I'm an aggressive driver, so let's be an aggressive driver, you know, and so I'm gonna attack.
Once you attack, thank you very much for the time, Rick. We'll let you get back to your team.
Appreciate it.
Speed Mafia Machine will get the chance to jump back in with his group. Interesting play coming up. Looking to be aggressive while also trying to get the fuel mileage. Looks like they've given Wilkins the EOL penalty for that cause, this time in the 78. So it looks like he took the claim. The 08 took the involved. Cody Gibson is the one that's going to be up in control for this restart yet again. Greg Mitchell has found his way up to second in all this. Good recovery so far for the 55 as he continues to make his way through the pack. Keep in mind, Semple, Sherman, Raymond amongst those who have stayed up front for much of stage 2 up to stage 3. Let's find out how this restart goes. 84 to go at the stripe. Green flag is out. We're backing away from Iowa. Clean jump for the 1. Battle is on for second. Semple works his way to the inside. Mitchell works his way on the high side. Side by side, Mitchell's in the wall. The 16 zips by. Here comes Sherman 3 wide. Mitchell goes off into the higher grooves. Able to keep it up there though. 3 wide still. Raymond forced to back off. Mitchell tries to clear them all. Mitchell forced up to the very outside for safety. Sherman charges the middle and passes them both. Now the inside, Raymond charges back. Here comes Caldwell. Sherman able to get himself a very finite edge over the 49. Sherman clear. Now Mitchell tries to clear on by Raymond. Greg Mitchell works hard to try and find his way back of a spot after the poor launch initially. 55 goes up inside the top 4 once again, covers up the bottom. Caldwell now tries to jump on the outside. Mostly everybody else in the top 10s elect to go single file. A couple drivers like Anderson are searching for grip high side. Bit of a stack up. Raymond scraped the wall at the start and finish line. Spencer trying to take advantage, couldn't do anything with it. Caldwell also losing ground, still bouncing off the walls for good measure, his own right. 46 just looks tight just by staring at it over the course of this run. Remember, looked pretty stable despite the rear damage earlier. Not as stable now as the runs continue. Some of these drivers with at least a couple heat cycles now dealing with your 30-lap tires. Here's the Hornet's Nest with Campbell, by the way. Look how laser focused Lee Campbell has to stay here. He has Anderson still to his outside on the plummet. Right on top of the wheel currently as he works his way through the 60. Trying to go deeper on the brakes again. Anderson, and again having trouble rotating, it seems, in months every battle. Thompson, see him pushing ahead. Raymond, by the way, still holds on to 5th. You see him up at the front. Most of the field started to run the same line towards the bottom of the racetrack, then come up the seams, up through 3 and 4, exit out to the wall. Dufton for his mark, remember from one of the ULs, he's trying to get ahead, he would slip the tires there. Anderson has the better run from that. Speaking of tires, remember Thompson has fresher ones. Less heat cycles on the 76's Goodyear Eagles. And we have trouble in front. It's going to be the 92 involved. We're under caution as Chris Rose and Edward Jurgen get involved and get tangled. Looks like Rose may have came up in the 92. We'll see what the AI chief instant replay tells us though. The true answer right here. Contact the door, they hooked together in glue. And the 92 at the very least avoided any more contact besides the door. As you can see from Brian Dorsey, he's going to have a good viewpoint of it right there. They originally come up. Second time, just blends up in the door. Hooks the 92. Chris Rose has already taken the blame for this caution period. So this is going to come at a big time, by the way, because we're still inside the estimated fuel window by 5 laps, but an error caution would get you there. Jurgen was actually pushed up in the fender even for the original contact. And most of the field, outside of those who just pit, have to come down. Here's Jurgen. See how much that head is bouncing around with that little clippage. Right here. He's in the wall already, trying to avoid the contact, then still ends up in it. So that puts us under caution, and most of the field has pit outside of paint and a fuel only for Rick Thompson. Thompson will jump to second. Payne will be your leader for the first time tonight. It is not car number 1 up in front. Big roll of the dice tonight for Cody Gibson in terms of some of the plays. But he's been in control, has been allowed to change things up. Now we'll have to work through some traffic initially for the first time. So as we pace around and go for another couple laps, why don't we try and find a word with the one car, if we will, I think. Because he's had the speed tonight, I think. Cody Gibson now joins the broadcast booth. Cody, first time tonight, you're not in the race lead. Your thoughts so far tonight on your rocket ship for 5Ks?
This setup feels awesome.
Why does it feel awesome?
First 2 laps, you gotta kind of keep the wheels under you. But after that, it is hooked up. I mean, I don't know if it's my driving style or the way I'm entering, exiting. I don't know. It just feels hooked up for me right now.
So with that in mind, first time now I'm going to be in traffic here with Payne up at the front and Thompson alongside. How do you feel about that traffic and knowing you're still outside the fuel window if it goes green the whole way?
Well, I know Rick, I believe, took 2 tires. Dustin's probably on a couple laps of old tires. I mean, just see how it goes. You gotta be patient. Try to keep the Matthew and Greg behind me while I try to pass these guys.
Well, to answer your question, Thompson fuel only because he pit the last caution. Payne pit the last caution also. But
all right.
Let you get back to work. Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Cody Gibson, ready to get back to work. Payne will try and hold on in front. That was his only play here after all. Remember, already had an offset of a set. If you use another set, you only have 1 remaining for about 75 laps, which does not work out if you have late cautions. We'll find out how well Gibson's able to attack here. He's got Semple alongside. First time he's not going to be in control or leading the laps. Mitchell and Sherman are row number 3. Backing away, Payne got a very early launch that time, up to the restart box. Gibson immediately going for second. Rick Thompson already getting swarmed on the slightly older tires. Gibson already given space. Thompson moving up the racetrack with the offset. Caution flag is out. Yellow flag is out in turns 3 and 4 and involves Dufton. The 47 goes around from 13th position. This might be a weird one because he wasn't hit for contact until halfway through the spin. AI Chief, instant replay. Dufton goes and enters the corner, then it just hooks. Couldn't lock it down. Tomlinson comes up into him. That finishes the job. Take a look for Tomlinson. He's just busy battling out with the Graybeard racing car of Cork. And then, da-da-da-da, it's time for a spin. That, of course, crushes in the radiator at the very least. Going to have to come down and repair that. Story got rear end damage also. Jurgen amongst those back here trying to dodge. Jurgen destroying the rear end on the checkup, it looks like, on the 7 machine. So what was a great night for the 92 on the drive to the field has turned into disaster. I think now is a good time to try and see if we can get a word with Dustin Payne, if we will, because right now he is the one still in the lead. Dustin put into a different strategy here, having to stay out on older tires, didn't take the fuel only like Rick Thompson did. Do you feel comfortable about your call, and why or why not?
We'll see. I haven't been out front, like in the lead, to know what the car's going to do. So yeah. Plus I got like 20 lap older tires than the rest of the field. So yeah, we'll see what we can do here. Yeah, I don't know.
So how has the car been feeling in traffic?
It is very tight for some odd reason. I don't know what it is about this place. You can't hardly pass. You have to get shots a good run off of 1 and 2 or 3 or 4 to get a pass. It's really hard.
So,
yeah.
What's the approach now going to be, knowing you have the fresher tires in front?
Not wadded up. So Yeah, it's not wadded up, and see if we can't get another caution to get some fresher tires and get some fuel to the end.
By the way, I believe you're working with Semple and Spencer tonight. Correct me if I'm wrong. What's the discussion been like with them? Because those drivers have done well as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really talked to them about how the car feels and up front, but
all right, let's get back to your team.
all right, take it.
So back he goes with Semple and Spencer. Looks like Dustin Payne has been focusing on one thing, the car, just driving. Chris Rose did take the EOL this caution period. And now we'll get set with 67 to go. Everybody else is coming into a spot where there is a chance that those who just pit, by the way, outside of Payne, they can make it on fuel because the pace laps, if not, with another caution. Payne is in the awkward position of needing some cautions to fly. He's backing away. Right now, Gibson trying to find a way to charge for the outside. Already Gibson clears Semple. Now Mitchell looks to try and do the same for third. Gibson taking his time to make this move on the veteran of Payne. Here comes the charge. Payne trying to move down side by side behind. Semple going deep into the corner. Not able to clear. Race lead side by side. Gibson got to the outside of Payne. Now he's to the door. The numbers. Now looks to go past the Goodyear logo. There's the fresher tires coming in off corner exit. It's Gibson back to the lead after 125 laps led earlier. He now gets back in front as Payne is in dirty air. How everybody tries to work its way at the bottom of the racetrack. Top 6, top 7, top 8, in fact, single file for now. Andrew Popejoy is the first side-by-side. That's the wild thing. He was one of the drivers hit with the front fender on one of the cautions. The 25, somehow, someway, is battling for the top 9 at the moment. The Cook and Boardman Group car has been really shooken up for parts of this evening. Very least is now joining the fray. See, Raymond has the view of what Mitchell wants to do. Take over second. Seems to be the goal, obviously. The RacingCockpits.com car nearly spins it. Gibson's running away with the side-by-side for second. A little bit of a pole away. As a result, everybody else gets into line. Jason Raymond tries to boost his way back up. Looking to try and battle it out as Payne continues to hold on a slightly older rubber. See how everybody's single filed out for the most part up at the front of the field. Everybody's starting to think about their sense of rhythm. Jason Raymond in particular, looking to try and plot and plan things out. Wait for a hole to open, not going to force it. Here goes movers you've seen, by the way, still Sherman amongst the highest, the top 10. But side by side is on again for second. Mitchell, he's been fighting for a while now. It can take up 10 laps to make a pass at Iowa based on previous experience. You can really battle side by side, lap after lap. There were times in the past you could run here as much as 70 laps side by side before clearing. You can see right now how difficult it is for Payne to try and find a way to clear himself. Same for Mitchell. You have the outside line still working for Payne, but the fresher tires activating on the inside. The longer this goes, the quicker the equalization point will be between them on even pace. Right now, they're all running in the 24-1s, and amidst this fight, Semple is running a 10th quicker than them, running behind. They just fell to the 2s, in fact. There it is now. Payne had to lift harder off the gas because of that extra rotation needed. He's now into a losing position with the 55's inward gains. Mitchell's clear, near contact from behind. Raymond settles behind. By the way, Sherman trying to really attack back at Semple. Semple open up a lane on the inside line for a moment. Now Semple will attack Raymond. Look at his viewpoint as you see him zip around the 49. You see this from Dustin Payne in particular. What lane do you hold back? In this case, it's the high line. Now he blends to the bottom to try and hug the inner groove. By the way, Jackie Brennan just recently dunked down pit road after 10 laps. Brennan is now Munsters down pit road. That leaves us with 21 still in the lead lap as we go. Sherman, no place to poke yet. You can see Semple really getting held back by Payne. Payne's hope is a caution. A caution at the right time. Right now, he is losing the ground, though. Finally, Raymond, for his sake, gets the charge on the inside. Semple follows suit. Now it's Sherman's turn to find a way to the inside in a moment. Payne's tires starting to go off. Lap traffic is coming into play a little bit here. Remember, tonight, for the most part, it's been Fred Thompson as a lapper. He is staying low to the bottom of the racetrack, but might play a factor when they go into the corner. Watch this for the next car back. Rick Thompson, on his fuel only, he's been doing phenomenal. Running the same, if not a little quicker pace than Payne, and maintaining top 10 speed. You already know the ramifications with his fuel situation. That's why he topped off there to make sure with the cautions he can make it. Well, might be in a spot where with the weight of the car, it's working a little bit better for him. Semple up for an attack. Looking for fourth. Make a third, it should say. Raymond lets the car let loose on the outside. There's the charge back. Semple trying to get some suction. Doesn't go for a major side draft, though. Raymond will see the harder charges of the Canadian to the inside, though. Jackie Brennan, officially out of the race, has left the facility. Nathan Dufton curling off track, left the facility. On some of the drivers who are down the pit lane getting tows done or repairs. Less than 50 laps to go. Semple has taken over the top three. Battle is on behind them with Popejoy. Popejoy trying to find a way around the 19 and squeeze back on for Spencer, though. Spencer clears. Retakes the position. It's in the same group as Caldwell and Thompson. At the moment, you can throw Pete maybe into the box, too. Shout out to Andy Cork. He's been improving as this run's gone up. He's up 12 so far tonight. He was having a very midday run. He's now entered the top 10 in most spots game, at the very least. Dorsey has also joined that box with him running a spot ahead of him. Looking right now as Caldwell scrapes the wall. Caldwell too high up the track. Spencer gets hit in the rear. Damage to the 19. Popejoy had to save it. Popejoy somehow avoided damage for his own sake, but the damage doesn't pop out for Spencer. Crushed left rear. Now for the 19, is going to destroy his downforce. Gunnar Wilkins, by the way, he's joining the fight amongst those for 13th. His MT Pocket Customs car. Really trying to find a way to customize a move here. Cork, long side, takes away 13th. So Dorsey starting to fade at the wrong time possible. Yeah, driver's going to have to make sure they mine that fuel tank, but as long as you're expected to go, right now the field is borderline. There hasn't been any major saving. Sherman has passed Raymond, by the way. Let's take a look at your AI Chief hits the replay. Look at the AI Chief car. Again, this got him up to the 4th position. That's because right here, got the run initially, setting up for the front straightaway. Able to dive because Raymond opened up the arc, allowed the 3 to go. 3 is up to 4th. So Sherman, who picked up a few stage points, believe, tonight, having a really solid night. Might also pick up some overall points to at least get himself away from 19th in the standings. Doing really solid here. Spencer, by the way. I don't know if he notices the damage on his car yet on the handling, but Rick Thompson sure is having a handful to hold back some of these. They've now reached Tomlinson, who is lap traffic. See how much Thompson having to work a little bit on the wheel, make sure he leaves space to get around the 7. There goes the 7 on his inside. Field continues to push hard and push as much as they can here. You can see right now a few of the others are just hoping for caution to roll the dice for their own sake. Remember, it was a fuel-only situation for Lee Campbell apparently last caution, but he really didn't get to the front with it, and a steady back down to 16th. One thing's for certain for everybody else, though, with 41 laps to go, you're talking about 20 minutes of thinking, plotting, and planning. Cody Gibson up at the front has not ran away. You see the battle box amongst your top 6 that have stayed compressed, but if you haven't noticed, it's a 6/10 difference. Payne is pitting, though. Hold on a moment. Payne, he's not waiting if there's a caution. He needs to go now. Payne is coming down pit road under green. Dustin Payne comes down to pit, and there goes his race. He was not going to wait for the caution. He was trying to go to stop the bleeding here, and now he's going to have to somehow make up 2 laps on the track. Tough situation, but now, for his sake, it's going to be, can he recover? Sherman, he's coming up for the top 3 yet again. See how much he's trying to charge the corner. Semple actually hit the apron that time, slows him up. Semple top 5 of the points coming into tonight. Has been fighting hard all evening, but now has Sherman making the move. Side by side for P3, coming to 37 laps to go. Can Sherman get the edge? He's trying, he's almost got it, he does. Semple now tries to cross him up. On the inside is the 16. Sherman didn't get it hooked on the new pavement. That sees the 16 resurge up the inside, still side by side. Up from P3. Sherman really floating way too high. Gets back in line. Semple retakes 3rd. Race lead is bumper to bumper, by the way. Cody Gibson did not run away off the jump and has not ran away at all. Greg Mitchell, who has, for the most part, been up and down amongst the top 10, has his best part of the run right here. He's a little bit quicker than the leader. Few hundredths per lap. He is chipping away, coming to 35 to go. The risk is on for drivers to try and get this lead away from the 1. Five Kings Machinery has led much of the night, but Cody Gibson looking to change that, or at least prevent that change, should say, with the points leader looking to pressurize him. Mind you, Cody Gibson in the point standings, not amongst your drivers. They're inside your top 12 coming into the evening. Should say top 8 for that with 184 points on the season, right behind Thompson. Sherman trying to find his way up for third. See Sherman finally gets the chance to clear. Can he finish the jump this time? Yes, he's got a bigger cushion. Looks like he'll steady up to third. And Matthew Semple's responded with a clutch and coast. So here is a thought. Even with this, will we make it? We have a car stopped on the side of the racetrack. James Kinner is backing up in front of pit road, battling on screen, but the 74 knew he brought the caution out as he backed up after missing pit lane. A little bit of chaos there, a little bit of side-by-side here. Raymond is dropping at the wrong time. He's starting to fade back to his starting spot. He's been top 5 most of the night. We have green flag pit stops at the moment. Andrew Caldwell, Andy Cork have both gone down pit road. Tomlinson last time by. So now, as the 5 of Anderson also indicates a pit stop, can the leaders stretch the tank? Semple appears to be trying to save it. The field, I don't think, got the cautions they were looking for. Listen in as Semple enters 3. It's a long clutch. It's almost like he's turning the car off. He's trying to save it so hard. He's going all the way down to 0. I think some of the drivers were not expecting to have one of our longest runs of the race tonight with how heavy the fuel save is getting for a couple. Are the leaders doing it? I don't think they're doing it. They are not doing it. For their battle for the race lead. See right now, Mitchell gonna have to let by the 41. That costs him some time. Cork be able to push on much fresher rubber. Andrew Popejoy just indicated he wants to pit this time by. And the second is in. Mitchell, no indication on the radio, also joined in pit road. Later call, and it looks like Semple is going to be the first of those on the fuel save strat, based on the fact he's the only one clutch and coasting. Gibson, does he respond for the race lead? Yes, he will. He works through the gears, down on the apron. Most people have had no issues on the entry here tonight. Get to about under 40. Speed limit is reached. Corey Sherman also falling as well as many of the other leaders. So this gets really interesting now, doesn't it, everybody? Under 30 laps to go. Vast majority of the leaders have pit. That leaves Semple, Thompson, Rose, Campbell, Wilkins, Dorsey, Lawson, and Jurgen. The only cars not to peel down pit road. Semple has the biggest advantage for the race lead and has already had the awareness to clutch and coast at the least. He isn't now clutch and coasting though, he's back on the roll through. With 24 to go, you're talking about, for some of these drivers, a lot of time together. What's happened to Greg Mitchell? He's falling down the pylon. Mitchell's had an issue off the pit road. Mitchell spun it off the racing surface, but no caution. Watch the AIG Vincent replay as Mitchell, who is battling for the lead, got loose on his own on entry. Caution is out in live action. 55 held it down and locked it down, but the crash is in 1 and 2. Sherman is in it, so is Jurgen, so is the 43 of Anderson. They are still slamming the walls, and this changes everything. Remember, Sherman pit, Jurgen had not yet. And Sherman's going to join the scene in the midst of chaos. Lock it down, spin it out on cold tires, and then They start slamming and crashing behind, and he comes down into Jurgen. How did Anderson spin it out? He's damaged the right side of the race car at the very minimum. Yeah, both rights. Yeah, he got loose too. It's like there was oil on the track. Jurgen, for his sake, was just going low, and then Sherman just let it roll down the hill almost and see this on board. See Anderson trying to react up with the incident situation. Yeah, Sherman tried, thought he was clear. So this just caused a lot of calamity. Most of the field is a lap down. Semple, along with Thompson, Campbell, Lawson, Wilkins, and Dorsey were the only ones on the lead lap. And Dustin Payne was the lucky dog because he pinned before all the other cars. So it's Semple who's first on the freshies, but Carter to Lawson did not pit for whatever reason. We're under yellow. Here from Iowa, more after this.
You are watching Precision Entertainment. Let's take a quick break from the action of the Cyber Thunder Rush Championship Series, presented by me, AI Chief. Now, driver, while the field gets sorted out and someone out there is still trying to find reverse, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the middle of a race and thought, man, I really wish someone in my headset would tell me what the hell is going on? Maybe you're running out of fuel. Maybe the leader is about to lap you. Maybe you just wrecked half the field and you're pretending it wasn't your fault. Well, driver, that's where I come in. AI Chief, your personal crew chief, race strategist, motivator, and occasionally the only voice of reason between you and the outside wall. With AI Chief, you get live race strategy, fuel and pit calls, real-time race updates, savage coaching when you start doing something dumb, and trust me, based on what I've seen out there tonight, some of you really need the help. AI Chief doesn't just tell you when to pit, he tells you when to save fuel, when to push, and when to maybe, just maybe, stop trying to go 3 wide into turn 1. So if you're tired of racing blind and you'd like a crew chief that actually knows what he's doing, head over to AIChiefRacing.com and let Chief get you sorted out. Because the only thing worse than wrecking is wrecking without knowing why. AI Chief, I've got your back. Now let's get back to the action.
Welcome back to what's turning out to be a chaotic one all of a sudden. Here for the Iowa Corn 175, Justin Prince with you, Ryan Bauer, our producer tonight. Here's the situation. Lawson stayed out on the track, right now at risk of not making on gas on 50-plus old tires. Now, you may be wondering, why would you do that? Well, guess what? This could preserve a top 10 regardless now. Only Cody Gibson got a wave around for the lead lap with this caution because he stayed out. So, at worst, it's 8th place if it stays green. Is this a high IQ move or is this about to turn bad? Let's find out. Back it away, and there's the bad move. Oh, let the tire spin. Now Lawson not going to hold on to the lead, obviously, with this, but he will be fighting hard on the bottom of the track and trying not to spin it out. Side by side for second. Thompson trying to take it over from Campbell. Semple running away. There's the contact. There's the caution. That was being waited upon by the 98. Brian Dorsey has already taken the claim on the radio. So we're under yellow once again. Get your caution hats on. This will at least get out of Andrew Caldwell in the lead lap, but will help Lawson get a top 10. Let's take a look at your AI Chief replay. Against the replay, he was on the outside of all that. Yeah, he just lost it. Everybody's been losing on entry tonight. Just too deep with the downforce level. Hearing there might have been help with the 78th, though. Let's see. Dakota Wilkins, yet again. Contact? No. Trying to go outside and deep on the outside of the old pavement area. Charge the corner, didn't work. Lawson will at least get fresh tires here, so his play worked perfectly. See right there. trying to find a way to clear everybody on the outside, then make it stick mid-corner. Wasn't going to stick. And one of the Pope Joys get involved as well. Andrew right now running in the teens, down at 18th in fact, with this caution. Not much he can do except, please don't do it. He does do it. Puts back in her yellow and puts the field in the hands of Matthew Semple. Remember, he's one of the drivers who's working with Dustin Payne here tonight. See if we can get a word with Matthew Semple. Staying out from pit road sequences. Matthew, you're trying to fuel safe. Now with the cautions, you're the leader and the favorite to win this race. How are you feeling?
We're feeling okay. Struggling a bit here on the restarts. It kind of seems like takes about 5 laps for this car to get up and go. So hopefully we can nail these restarts here, being the control car now. Hopefully that helps us, and we'll just see how it plays out.
You've been having a busy night when it comes to battling. How has it been trying to manage the tires? We'll also try to find a way to make up ground with the way the setup has been.
Yeah, it's hard. I went for a more loose setup than I think a lot of the guys around me, just by kind of seeing how their cars react and whatnot. But yeah, it's definitely tough passing here. So like I said, after that 5 lap, 10 lap, when my car starts to really come in here, I just got to kind of methodically make my way through traffic and everything like that. Maybe give up a position if you need to in those first 5 to 10 laps and know you're just going to get them back later on. So it's just kind of a give and take out here, and hopefully it works out in our favor.
So would you risk sacrificing the race lead to have that long-term game with 15 laps to go?
As everybody kind of sits here now, no, because we got a lot of the field a lap down. But if they all pit behind me, then I don't know. I guess I'm kind of forced to do something, but we'll see.
A little bit of a technical put for you, by the way. There are 9 cars in the lead lap. Good luck here on this restart.
Thank you.
So Semple, go back, I believe, to channel 3. So we'll send it back that way to work with his teammates, because he's coming up to 14 to go. Semple is in control. Thompson is in second. Campbell, Wilkins, the top 4. Restart zone time. Green flag is out, back and away. 16 already indicated they don't want to lose the lead like they would have played earlier on with the strategy. Now Thompson is up the hill. Here comes Campbell. Remember, Campbell had struggled to try and maintain track position throughout stage 3. Now he's right in the thick of it, looking for the race lead. A little bit loose for Campbell. Holds on to it. Lost a little bit of ground, and that's allowed the Speed Mafia car Thompson up the hill. Thompson nearly spins it. Gibson is already up to 4th. He's coming up to 3rd. Right now the 60 playing the middle of the lines. The 1 fastest car on property makes its way to P3. 12 laps to go from Iowa Speedway. Drivers have already talked about the need to keep the loose car with the setup balance here in the series tonight. We've already seen how some of the top drivers, if you've got a setup dialed in, can fly. Gibson has flied his way from the wave around cars on the previous caution flags, now up into the battle for second. Coming at 10 laps to go this time. Thompson looking to try and get a podium opportunity. Gibson still having a fight. This helps out Semple. Semple is ran away by 7/10. Campbell loses a spot. Now he has to fight with Thompson. Ten to go on the Iowa Farms 175. Viewpoints of Thompson and Campbell on screen. Campbell on the right. Thompson on the left. Thompson hanging on the left rear. Now dives it deeper into the corner. Got a little bit loose a bit on entry. Now hits a bit of the apron. Slides up, forces Campbell into the wall. Campbell forced up the track. A reaction from Campbell in the midst of that as Dustin Payne zips his way a spot as well. So Campbell moves out of the contention for the podium spots. But all eyes have to go up to car 1. Cody Gibson needs to close up 8/10 in 8 laps to get the race lead back. For almost the entire night, it looked like Cody Gibson was going to be in control. The one time he didn't look like he was going to run away from everybody was after some of the cautions, around 75 to go, with that longer run where he didn't pull away from others and was going to have an interesting time with the 55 of Mitchell on pit strategy. Now he's going the wrong way at the wrong time with no clean air with 7 to go. Semple is pulling away. Caution flag is out. We're back under yellow. Late race restart. Cody Sherman is around. Corey Sherman with the 20. Also got with the 7. AI Chief instant replay time. Watch this, became ping pong a little bit for the 3 machine. Reaches the 20. Dickerson, you also have the 7 in front. So he hits the 7, checks him at the 20. They look around and slam about. Put us under yellow with under 6 laps to go. Take a look. Right there, 20's trying to get the run, but wasn't exactly exiting the wall in the first place. He already got doored up there in the first place, by the way, for Thomas. That's why he was slowing down so much. And then, not sure why you run the middle of the racetrack down the front, but that's what happened. Race control, which is Mike Stipperson has said, race control saying it's on the 20. So, he is applying it to himself because Caldwell and Dorsey are the only cars who are able to take service. By the way, lucky dog, Jason Raymond. He is your lucky dog. That brings the 10 on the lead lap. So, he will be in position at least to pick up a couple spots. Got to hand it to Carter Lawson. He got the caution he had to without being involved as the caution getter. And now, gets to at least get a top 10 here. Curious on terms of Lawson's viewpoints here. He is one of the drivers working with Mike in the hauler. Carter Lawson. Let's get a quick word. Carter, you get some opportunity to speak with us here. You rolled the dice with the caution period. Guess what? You get a top 10 likelihood regardless here. How does that make you feel?
It feels pretty good. I was hoping we weren't going to get a caution when that happened because I think I was good on gas there. But I'm sure probably the entire field minus about 8 guys hate me right now. But we'll deal with that later.
So was that decision based on the positioning, the fuel, the tires? What came down to the decision to pin the field lap down and help your sake for the race?
Pretty much the whole thing is I gambled that we were going to have a yellow within a couple laps of us going green, and luckily for me we did. So it all worked out in the end for me there.
Now, believe you have a Twitch channel. What is that Twitch channel and what does it do?
The sponsor right now is Siege Double Shot on here. It's a group of guys I know. They do broadcasting as well. They do Rocket League and Rainbow Six.
Interesting combination, but you get back to your team for the restart.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Carter Lawson rolled the dice, won his gamble. And guess what? He's restarting in 7th for a 2-lap natural green-white checkered. Get the white flag, the race is going to come down to the checkered. If we get a caution flag before then, we head to GWC territory potentially. No concerns for time, but Semple and Gibson, Thompson and Pink, Campbell and Wilkins, Lawson and Dorsey, Caldwell, and then behind all the drivers on the lap down mark is Jason Raymond. Time is not of the essence for some, but it is definitely of the urgency if you want to win this race. 2 laps to go on the Iowa Farms 175. Time to buckle up and ride. Semple in control. Green flag is out. Gets a great launch on Gibson. He looks to run away. Gibson trying to charge the corner on the inside. Working through 1 and 2. Gibson pushes up. Had to bump the throttle to avoid the wall. Still scraped it anyway. Aaron Campbell smacking the wall as well. Coming up to the white flag this time. Gibson trying to close. White flag is out. Final time around in the Rush Championship Series from Iowa. Semple's led 24 plus laps now tonight in this one. Needs to hold on for one more send. Does Gibson force it? He's going to try a little deep send. Not enough to get a bumper though. Matthew Semple. He's able to win and get himself on top in Iowa. Matthew Semple gets the win in the Iowa Farms 175 over Gibson and Rick Thompson. Gibson led 164 laps tonight, but Semple played the right call for the win. Fuel saved, stayed on the track, got the caution to secure the race lead, and now we'll get to celebrate a victory. So it's Matthew Semple celebration time here on Precision. Matthew Semple comes away with a win tonight here in the Rush Championship Series presented by AI Chief. More coverage coming up. You're watching Precision Entertainment.
You are watching Precision Entertainment. Let's take a quick break from the action of the Cyber Thunder Rush Championship Series, presented by me, AI Chief. Now, driver, while the field gets sorted out and someone out there is still trying to find reverse, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the middle of a race and thought, man, I really wish someone in my headset would tell me what the hell is going on? Maybe you're running out of fuel. Maybe the leader is about to lap you. Maybe you just wrecked half the field and you're pretending it wasn't your fault. Well, driver, that's where I come in. AI Chief, your personal crew chief, race strategist, motivator, and occasionally the only voice of reason between you and the outside wall. With AI Chief, you get live race strategy, fuel and pit calls, real-time race updates, savage coaching when you start doing something dumb, and trust me, based on what I've seen out there tonight, some of you really need the help. AI Chief doesn't just tell you when to pit, he tells you when to save fuel, when to push, and when to maybe, just maybe, stop trying to go 3 wide into turn 1. So if you're tired of racing blind and you'd like a crew chief that actually knows what he's doing, head over to AIChiefRacing.com and let Chief get you sorted out. Because the only thing worse than wrecking is wrecking without knowing why. AI Chief, I've got your back. Now let's get back to the action.
Welcome back to tonight's coverage of Cyber Thunder, the Rush Championship Series, presented by AI Chief. Let's take a look at your unofficial race results, where Matthew Semple comes away with a victory over Cody Gibson and Rick Thompson. We'll speak with those drivers in just a few moments. Dustin Bing and Andrew Caldwell finished in the top 5, with Lee Campbell in 6th. Connor Wilkins, Carter Lawson, Brian Dorsey, and Jason Raymond are a part of the top 10, are the only cars on the lead lap, essentially. 11th went to Greg Mitchell. Take a little hit in the point standings. Logan Spencer down in 12th. Chris Rose and Andy Cork, followed by Andrew Popejoy. Edward Jurgen starts off well, but ends up 16. Gainworth, along with Anderson, a lap down apiece. Fred Thompson finished 3 laps down, with James Kinder 4 laps down. Corey Sherman had a great run in the top 5 at one point. It all came unraveled on cold tires after pit stops. He finished 21st. Tomlinson, Anderson, then Young amongst some of the heavy laps down marks. Stiverson, along with Brennan, Dufton, Collins, Frith, and Bowman. Your top 30. Bell, amongst the early DNFs with DiMancio, Music, Nicholas Popejoy, Holmes, Meyer, Piccolo, Thompson, and Dangler Jr. also out. That's all talked about with the Red Org here tonight. Here in this one, as we like to remind you that tonight's action is brought to you by AI Chief. Box now, fuel, tires, and trash talking included. AI Chief Racing is your virtual crew chief, making pit calls, strategy plans, and roasting you all the way to the checker flag. AIChiefRacing.com. Go there for more information. So, let's talk with our drivers here. Third spot tonight with to Rick Thompson. You got the PR headset off. How do you feel about this one here, Rick? You get a top 3.
Yeah, I feel great. I didn't think we had. I didn't think we had the initial speed in the start of when we were in practice and when we started the race. So I knew I was just going to have to work on it through the long runs and everything, maybe work some tire strategy and some fuel strategy. That's why I was trying to get off cycle from everybody else. And then when I did pit, you guys brought me up the one time. We literally had another yellow like 3 or 4 laps later. So I was like, all right, let me go ahead and top off the fuel and just get fuel only and see if I can't hold the track position, which I did. I thought I did pretty good at staying up there with the guys on the sticker tires. And then I was clutching on that long run just to make it. I was going to make it, though. I think the 16 probably would have made it too, but I don't know. I felt like my shot at it after that when I saw the one get the wave around was a little done at that point, but I'll take a third any day. I'll take a third. Good points. Good night for us.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting night in general, it felt like, on the racing surface. How would you describe the feel of this newer, updated car on a track like Iowa that is partially repaved, not fully, where it seemed anybody in the old pavement seemed to be gone?
Yeah, I feel like it takes a little longer for the tires to wear in, and when the rubber starts to come up, you get some slick spots now where the marbles are. So you got to kind of watch out for that as well. But yeah, I mean, it's not too far off of what it was before, but we're adapting to it, and we're working on the speed, especially the long-term speed. So we'll see what happens.
How do you feel about road course racing next week?
I think it's Watkins Glen, right?
Yes, it is.
I'm good at Watkins Glen. I'm all right there. The Laguna Seca race down the road, that one worries me a little bit, but Watkins Glen, I think all of us NASCAR guys, we've done enough races at that track that, we feel pretty comfortable at it. And I think as long as we can keep the car clean, we could probably hopefully bring home a top 10 there.
Anyone want to give a shout out to here tonight?
Yeah, shout out to your producer, Ryan. He's an old buddy of mine, know him from way back when. And shout out to my dad, who was one of the slower cars out there tonight, but he's 80 years old, and I just like racing with him. He was out there tonight with me, so happy to see him. Yeah. He's 80. He turned 80, and he's still out there racing with us. He knows he's not as fast, but he just has fun racing around with us, and I like having him there. Shout out to my wife for letting me do this. And yeah, shout out to you guys. Shout out to for the broadcast. It's always great. Shout out to AI Chief for sponsoring the series, and I think William. I think Will Anderson or Eric, the 43 car. I think he's the one that helped sponsor tonight's race as well. So shout out to him. So, but thanks a lot, guys.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you very much. Rick Thompson comes away with the third spot tonight. The one driver that seemed to be in a dominant pace before things start to unravel with the cautions, Cody Gibson gets a top 2 tonight, but not the top spot. Cody, what's kind of your thoughts as the strategy put you down, a lap down, and forced into the wave around spot? You get the second in the end.
Yeah, I'm pretty bummed out. I mean, I seen Greg pit, and I'm like, well, he's going to blow my doors off if I don't pit. So I pitted behind him, and then as soon as we came out, I seen Greg get sideways in 1 and 2. I put like 8 seconds on him. I was like, okay, I can just coast from here. And then the dang caution came out. Luckily, I was ahead of, I think, Carter, because he actually stayed out on the lead lap, and it didn't put me a lap down, I don't believe. I could be wrong, but
Yeah,
there's
you
so
were
many
in front of him.
cautions.
I was about to say you were in front of him in that situation. That's why you got the wave around initially, Cody.
Yeah, I mean, I got kind of lucky on that part, I guess. But all in all, I guess my luck is trending up because the last few weeks I've had some terrible finishes. And, you know, being up front, then just whether it's on me or the luck not going my way.
I was about to say, you've had speed in a lot of the series that at least I've seen you on the racetrack with. Overall, what does it take to carry the speed that you've had car to car and then try and get the runs to finish where you've been wanting them to finish?
Well, I mean, it's kind of tough because the air plays a big role coming back through the field. So you got to kind of change your lines to get out of there, you know, the dirty air in front of you. And sometimes it can still eat your tires up because you're changing a line or you're trying to get a run off of them. And you're just, you know, you're making that right front angry coming out the corner. So, I don't know. I mean, I think I'm missing next week. I'll be out of town for work, but after that, just kind of keep on moving forward. I just need one more finishing spot better, and I'll be up there.
On that note, how do you feel about Watkins going next week?
I put it in a provisional, if that tells you anything.
Okay. So on that note, what are you going to be doing while you're doing the provisional?
I am going to Wisconsin for work, unfortunately.
Well, that's unfortunate to say the least, but on the bright side, you have sponsors to thank.
You guys up in the booth, coming in, kind of a couple races in. Appreciate that. Love the broadcast. I will rewatch them as soon as I get off here and finish them up and go to bed. Eric for sponsoring the race, and AI Chief for the main sponsor of the series. Of course, my teammates in there, that was Larry Bell and Raymond. So appreciate their help, their input for tonight. We're all in there to help each other. So, and Matthew on the win.
Congratulations on second place tonight either way.
Thank you.
Cody Gibson, being in Wisconsin for work. Matthew Semple made things work again with the caution period. Matthew, it seemed like the gap wasn't able to be closed up by Cody at the end, but in the end, you're able to play out with 25 laps led. How does it feel to get a win tonight here at Iowa?
Yeah, it's great. I think we've had 3 second-place finishes so far in the season. So to get the win is good, and to beat the guys the likes of Cody Gibson and Rick Thompson, Greg Mitchell, and a couple other guys in the field and whatnot, it's a good feeling.
How different did that car feel once you had the clean air for the final runs compared to what you were feeling in the draft through most of the night?
It was night and day. I got pulled up for an interview with you guys there in the caution and everything like that. And then when we fired off on that restart, just being in the lead there, I didn't really have any of those issues that I was describing in the earlier interview. So that was amazing. I was just hoping in that final restart there, it went green to the end and I could get a big enough jump on Cody. I kind of waited till the middle of the restart zone. Hoping I would get that big jump, and it played out in our favor, and we just had enough pace to stay ahead of them there.
So on that note, you get yourself on the win board for this series. Now you have to carry that forward to Watkins Glen. Heard already one of the top three is taking a provisional. What's your plan for Watkins Glen?
I'm going to let everybody in a little secret. Greg Mitchell's probably your guy if you're going to bet to win a road course. So keep an eye on him. But I don't know, we've come second a couple times to Greg on road courses. So hopefully we just have a clean race here and or next week and, you know, execute when we need to. No mistakes on pit road or anything like that. So if we do that, I think we'll be in top 5, maybe winning position, depending on how others do in the race. But not too worried about it. We're just excited to go on to next week.
Any shout you'd like to give here tonight?
Yeah, thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast. Super excited to go back and watch it. Thanks to my mom and dad for always watching. Thanks to my smoking hot wife for letting me do this, and my daughter. Thanks to my coworkers. I believe Tim's watching, and I think my buddy Briggs watching. And thanks to Alto Construction for being on the car. And you know, if you need any construction needs around the central southern Ontario area, they're the guys to call. And thanks for Tom Richter for putting on this league, and thanks for Mike stepping up tonight while Tom was out to do the admin duties and everything. He did a good job.
Congratulations once again on the victory here tonight, Matthew.
Thank you.
Matthew Semple takes it home tonight. I'd like to thank everyone to take the time to speak with us during our coverage here on Precision Entertainment. As mentioned, the next time out for the field, we go to Watkins Glen. It's a road course race. That'll be Tuesday, April the 7th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Matt Metler will be making his Precision Entertainment debut next week. Be sure to tune in, give support. We'll find out how things go at the Glen next week. But on that note, it's just about time to say goodbye. For my producer, Ryan Bauer, for our camera provider, Whiplash SimCams, I'm Justin Prince, saying thank you so much for watching tonight's coverage of Cyber Thunder and its racing league, as well as the Rush Championship Series powered by AI Chief, as we look to see what happens next time out for the Glen. Congratulations to Matthew Semple, your winner from Iowa.